I think one of the main components of the change has been the refresh of the leadership teams in the different opcos. We've made strides in bringing top talent from around the world, and I think that's helped us to really unlock the potential in these markets. If you look at the growth in Tanzania, 34% growth in service revenue. M-Pesa is growing leaps and bounds. We now have over 5 million customers on M-Pesa. And we'll also be launching Pesa in the other operations, Tanzania, Mozambique, Lesotho, and the DRC. We focused a lot on growing our distribution using a direct model, but most importantly is the acceleration of the investments in these countries. If you look at our operations growing 22% service revenue growth, data is growing more than 100%, and so we've had to invest in quality of the networks in all our operations. Competition is really intense. And the only way to win in these markets is to really differentiate on network, in terms of quality of network, mobile money, and data. These are the three key areas that are driving our differentiation strategy in all our markets. Absolutely. When you look at the GDP growth in these markets, gas, the discovery of oil and gas in Mozambique, the discovery of oil and gas in Tanzania, GDP growing at 7%. And most of these markets are underpenetrated. So you're looking at a blended penetration of around 40%. Data is a huge growth potential. As I said, growing over 100% in service revenue. But also, a lot of our customers in these markets are going to experience the internet for the very first time on their mobile. And so for us, dominating data and making sure that we're providing the right networks, the right devices, and making sure that the people are experiencing the internet for the first time on our networks. So I think that the growth is sustainable going forward. A blend of both. I think we're in a great position now. We've come a long way in the international portfolio. I think we now have a formula that is working in our current operations, a formula that I think can be deployed in the other markets. And so we're looking at organic growth, but we're also looking at great M&A opportunities in other markets. And so, it's important for us to diversify our revenues for the group. And so we're looking at opportunities. We're actively now looking at opportunities on the continent. No, absolutely not. I think, there are key strategic pillars of the formula around data, network quality, mobile money, but this formula will be applied. The market dynamics will change. So, the formula can't be one size fits all. DRC is very different from Tanzania. Tanzania is very different from Lesotho. So we are clear that, and even the competitors are different. So we are clear that we have a generic formula that will obviously be applied and be relevant given the market dynamics and the competitors in that particular market. I think there's some great assets out there where you have a number 2, number 3 players. And I think if you look at our formula, if you look at our CapEx investments in the markets that we operate in, and our differentiating strategy, I think there's a lot that we can bring into second, third players that have the potential to go to number 1 or to go to number 2. So there are interesting assets on the continent, and we're actively looking now at some really interesting assets that we can invest in.